Welcome to these demonstrations of culturally alert counseling. The upcoming sessions are guided by the assumption that we're always influenced by our cultures, whether they be our gender, ethnicity, social class, sexual orientation, or disability, to name a few examples. Those and other cultures affect us in at least two ways: our own worldviews and how others see us and treat us.
On the other hand, it is important to remember that clients are also always individuals with their unique temperaments, interests, and personalities. At any one time, culture may take center stage, as it does in the sessions that you are about to view. At other times, culture is in the wings, waiting, while clients explore their individual emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Even there, however, culture is intertwined with a person's emotions, hopes, and doubts.
The Culturally Alert Counselor's task is twofold: to help clients know and appreciate the impact of culture in their lives, and to help them act in empowering ways by challenging unhelpful cultural assumptions and external societal biases. Counselors must be ready to welcome culture into their work and at times invite it.
In the sessions that you will see here, culture is foreground as clients confront external bias, internalized cultural rules, and importantly, cultural strengths, in order to fashion the lives they might imagine with the help of their counselor.
These demonstrations highlight some, but not all, ways to infuse culture into counseling. Viewers are invited to study these demonstrations and complement them with parallel readings in the book Culturally Alert Counseling in order to become more complete and ethical counselors.
May you do the good work of empowering clients so they can live the lives they have imagined.
Hello, my name is Laura and I'm 25 years old, and this is my story. I grew up in a suburb of Baltimore, Maryland in a middle-class family where my father worked and my mother stayed home to raise my sister and me. I always knew I was different from the other kids, but I could never pinpoint why. I was very outspoken, opinionated, intelligent, and feminist all before I even got to high school. I had a few boyfriends during my junior and senior years and through my first 2 years of college. I was always scrambling to get into another relationship immediately after I was finished with the previous one. During my junior year in college, I began having regular panic attacks that were keeping me from going to class, and at one time I seriously considered dropping out. I got into some recreational drug use as a means to distract myself from facing my own inner struggle. That summer, I met a girl at work, and one night after a party, one thing led to another, and I finally understood what was so different about me after all. I got the courage to come out to myself as a lesbian. I then came out to my family, who were very supportive of me, and who basically knew all along anyway. I became very active in the Gay-Straight Alliance at my college and began speaking out in classes and in the community about my story with the hopes of helping others understand the personal aspect of what is called the gay lifestyle. My lifestyle is this: I live with my partner, our 2 dogs and 2 cats. We plan to expand our family over the next few years by having a baby, probably by insemination and perhaps adopting as well. I am doing this video to help educate future counselors about those ways in which it is crucial to understand the unique challenges that gay and lesbian clients face, as well as those ways that working with individuals in a sexual minority are just like working with any other non-gay clients.
My name is Joseph. I'm a 26-year-old African-American college student, and I'm gay. For me, integrating my sexuality into my overall general well-being has been a very long process that has taken many years, and counseling has played a large role in helping me to do so. Working on this video project has been important to me because I feel that the gay population is often an invisible group whose issues often go ignored many times, whether intentionally or unintentionally. I feel that it is important for counselors and therapists to have this information to better serve their clients. Because I had counselors that used similar techniques as demonstrated in this video, I have come to a point where I am able to enjoy and appreciate myself and every aspect of myself, including my sexuality. This is what I hope everyone can have in their life.
Hi, I'm Cindy. I am a 47-year-old African-American lesbian. Like so many others, I struggled with my sexual identity since my teenage years. I was brought up in a very strict Christian home with my stepfather being a minister. So of course, I wasn't perceived as the quote-unquote normal daughter. My parents prayed, told me I was going to hell, and placed me in therapy. My parents also perceived that if I wanted to change, I could. So I went into the military and started dating to force myself into changing. After years of trying to please everyone else, I gave up the dating scene and actively pursued a lesbian relationship. I wrestled for many years with depression, low self-esteem, and my own lack of spiritual connection. I wanted the traditional lifestyle with children, but without a husband. I have been a foster parent for about 5 years and have shared my home with at least 7 children that needed a home. I began to attend a church that ministers to gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender community. In attending church there and actively being a part, I was able to make a spiritual connection. The one thing that stood out for me in therapy was that my therapist never focused on me being a lesbian. They helped me focus on why I was uncomfortable with being a lesbian. I began to realize that I was okay and that I could have a very rewarding and fulfilling life.
Hi, my name is Vanessa, and I'm 19 years old. I grew up on Long Island, New York, as an only child in an Italian-Irish family. My heritage and my being Roman Catholic made it difficult for me to come out to myself as a lesbian, let alone anyone else. I feel gay affirmative counseling is extremely important, and I know it helped me to become comfortable with the person I am today.
These are the unremarkable, yet very remarkable stories of people who happen to be gay. In this video, we will demonstrate gay affirmative counseling. The notion is rooted in a fundamental belief that homosexuality is natural, that it stands alongside heterosexuality as an equal partner. It's a variation on a theme, not an aberration from a standard of heterosexuality. We ask you to consider embracing that attitude. We challenge you to move toward an appreciation of homosexuality as a vital and natural orientation for many, many people all over the world. Let's note the stance of the American Psychological Association, and I quote, "For nearly 3 decades, it has been known that homosexuality is not a mental illness. Medical and mental health professionals also now know that sexual orientation is not a choice and cannot be altered." Perhaps this video will help in that regard. We'd like to share with you some guidelines that you might use when you do gay affirmative counseling with gay and lesbian clients. And I'm going to start with one that I'd ask you to think of inside yourself. Check yourself and become aware of any of your own hetero prejudice or views that perhaps block you from being effective with gay and lesbian clients.
And as Garrett and I most definitely do, it's important to make your office a diversity-friendly environment for gay and lesbian clients.
In the same vein, use inclusive language. Terms like couple, partner are more generic terms than husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend.
And for heterosexual counselors, it's important to be an ally to the gay and lesbian community.
One element in which you can help establish trust with a client is just self-disclose, be able to be a person to the client, not a stiff, kind of remote figure.
And it's important that we as counselors don't assume that sexual orientation is central to the concerns of gay and lesbian clients. They come in with all different types of concerns.
Sure, that's just a part of people's lives, but it's an important part. A very important warning is to be really alert to dangers of this notion of conversion therapy. There's really no evidence that conversion therapy works effectively, and it actually is unethical at this time to promote that with clients.
And just like with other minority groups, it's important not to expect the gay and lesbian community to teach you about gay and lesbian concerns or gay and lesbian lifestyles. It's important that we as counselors go out and do our own research.
And despite what you might think with the idea of gay affirmative counseling, don't label the client prematurely with a concept like the word lesbian or gay, unless a client, him or herself, is ready to use the term or perhaps has used it in the session.
And oftentimes with gay and lesbian clients, you often see depression, social isolation, and suicidal ideations in therapy. So it's important to be aware of that.
Sure. It's more likely with gay and lesbian clients frequently. As you move along working with clients, help them connect with personal models of healthy gay persons, people who themselves are functioning fully and well and very self-appreciative about their sexual orientation in general, to help people find models for themselves of people like that.
And with that, it's important that we help them affirm their support system, get out into the community and find their own chosen family within the gay and lesbian network.
Literally, when you're doing counseling work with gay and lesbian clients, do attempt to bring out internalized oppressions, such as self-denigration, putting oneself down, feelings of inadequacy. Bring those to the surface, because they've experienced, most of them, an awful lot of oppression. Help positively reframe and help them find strengths in themselves. The other part of that is, in terms of bringing out the negative experiences, is bring out anger at others and at self due to the oppressions people have lived through.
It's important that we show comfort with the client. We might want to touch their shoulder or even self-disclose and use humor in therapy.
Yeah. So these guidelines, we hope, will give you a beginning as you watch the next set of training sessions. Please keep them in mind and make notes to yourself, if you'd like, about how to help gay and lesbian clients be more fully themselves. The characteristics of individuals at the identity confusion phase include him or her being aware that homosexuality has personal relevance due to having an attraction or a sexual experience. At this identity confusion phase also, she or he might have just felt different somehow in childhood. The individual at this phase is privately identifying her or his feelings as possibly homosexual, but is not ready to do so publicly. Finally, in response to this dawning awareness, the person might engage in a strategy of denial of his or her homosexuality, really due to the generally anti-homosexual societal environment and being in a sexual minority. However, it should be noted that denying homosexuality will likely be only partially successful for the person, as fantasies, crushes, attractions, and erotic dreams will interrupt that denial. Continuing denial will likely result in ongoing self-rejection. Here's what to notice in this session. Notice the counselor gently probing for specifics, that is, specific emotions and situations that triggered incidents. Also notice empathic, reflective listening by the counselor, and her warmth and positive regard for Joseph. Also notice the trust building as she builds an alliance with her own showing of empathy and her own self-disclosure. The counselor also assesses suicidal potential in this session. She also allows the client to go at his pace, but still inquires for his feelings and his situations. Going at his pace means the counselor does not quickly label nor push the client to identify himself as homosexual. Overall, the counselor working with the client at the identity confusion phase validates the confusion and gently helps the client to increase his awareness of his homosexual feelings.
Hi, Joseph. I'm Dr. Jones. I'm glad you can make it in today.
Me too.
Now, what brought you in today?
Well, I guess I'm here because my mom made me come. Not that I don't want to be here, but I guess that's the real reason, is because she made me come.
So what exactly is your mother concerned about?
I guess she's been worried about me because I've been depressed lately, and she says that she knows something's wrong, but she doesn't know what it is, but she thinks something's wrong. So I guess I've been a little more sad than I normally am, I guess.
So I hear that you're saying that your mom is really concerned. She's been noticing some depressive symptoms. Have you been noticing those symptoms also?
I mean, I've always been sad, I guess, depressed. I guess I'm to the point where I'm just not as good as hiding it anymore, or I don't want to hide it anymore. I just don't care if people see it or not.
Well, everybody has their own description of what sadness is or what depression is. What does depression look like to you? Like, tell me what type of things happen that make you know that you're feeling depressed.
Nothing really happens. I guess I don't want to be bothered, and I just want to be alone or just sleep and just, I guess sleep the day away.
Have your friends noticed that you've been feeling like this?
I mean, I don't have too many friends. I have a couple friends, but I don't know, I guess I don't socialize with them anymore just because of different reasons. So I've been just keeping to myself, kind of.
Okay, so it sounds like this depression has been kind of long-standing in your life. It's been going on for a long time.
Yes, it's been a while.
Okay, and it sounds like you're maybe running out of the mental energy to keep it hidden or to keep it stuffed down.
Yeah, I guess I don't have the energy to just hide it anymore. It takes too much energy to act like you're happy when you're not, so.
Well, what exactly, do you remember do you know what's making you feel sad or what's making you depressed, specifically?
It's nothing specifically. I guess I'm just a sad type of person, I guess.
So there hasn't been any events in your life that maybe have contributed or made you feel sad?
Well, I mean, I had a fight with, well, not a really fight. I guess I stopped talking to one of my friends, Philip, but I mean, I guess it didn't feel too good, but I'm sure it's good in the long run. I don't know.
Okay, so Philip, so was he a close friend of yours?
Yeah, he was a close friend, but I don't talk to him anymore. I don't talk to any of my friends much anymore.
Well, that's difficult to hear because you being a senior in high school, I mean, during adolescence, your peer group is really important. So I would think that that's probably impacting your feeling sad right now.
Yeah, but I guess like my friends, they just really don't get me, and they're on my case a lot, and they won't let things drop. So I would just rather not be around that.
So on your case, what kind of things are they on your case about?
Well, I mean, they just stuff like going to prom or dating and stuff, and they just don't understand that prom and stuff like that isn't for everybody, and it's not for me. And they just won't drop it. They just keep bringing it up over and over again like it's going to change my mind, and they just don't understand that it's not for everybody.
Right. So it sounds like what you're saying is that your friends won't accept you for who you are. Maybe you have some differences or you think of things a little bit different than them and they have trouble accepting that. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's kind of how it is.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess Philip kind of understood, but we don't really talk anymore. Just because, I don't know, things just didn't work out.
Well, tell me about Philip. Where'd you meet him? Like what kind of things did y'all do together?
We met at where I work, which is just a grocery store, and I don't really remember how we became friends, but I guess we kind of hit it off because we're both like, weird in the same way, and he just got me and I got him, but
you said you both are weird in the same way?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I don't fit in. I guess he doesn't fit in, and we're just like, I guess, weird in the same ways, and we get each other. We don't really talk about being weird, but we just know that we have similarities, I guess.
So I would assume that, and tell me if I'm correct, that you fitting in with Philip or you all being weird alike kind of made you feel good because the other group of friends you have, you weren't feeling like they understood or you didn't feel like you had similarities to them. Was that a comforting thing for you to interact with someone who understood you?
Yeah, it is, but I mean, it was bad parts about it too, and I guess it was the bad parts that I just didn't. That's why I don't talk to him anymore. So.
Okay.
I'm sure it's for the best, probably.
Well, I'm kind of confused because it seems as if Philip was a close friend of yours, and it seems like you all had a lot in common. Y'all were working at the same location, and y'all got to talk about things, and he understood you. but then you said that there were some things that weren't so good. And so I guess, you know, it seems like Philip was a really positive influence in your life, and so I'm wondering what could have been not so good about that?
Well, I just felt like, you know, just because he made me feel good doesn't mean that it was like a good thing overall, because I think that maybe I liked him too much, and, you know, and like my church says, you know, like bad associations spoil useful habits, or like birds of a feather flock together, you know. When you hang around people that, you know, have bad habits or, you know, do bad things that might rub off on you. So just because it feels good doesn't mean you can do it. Just because, you know, stealing feels good doesn't mean you just have to run out and steal. You can't just do things that feel good all the time.
Okay, so now I understand. So your church has something to do with your, I guess, looking at Philip in a different light, or looking at your friendship with him in a different light.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about your church. What's your faith? What church do you belong to?
Well, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. So
Okay.
I'm highly involved in my religion. And
Okay. And is that, were you raised Jehovah's Witness?
no, there's something I chose for myself, which is kind of, I guess, stressful too, because my family is not involved in it, and I wish they would be.
Right.
So
Now, they're of a different faith, is that the case?
yeah, they are.
Okay. Now, do they support your choice?
And well, they don't really. They're kind of indifferent, I guess. They don't really care. They don't really want to know about it, kind of
Okay.
thing.
Okay. So, your church is really important in your life. It sounds like it's having a positive influence since you spend a lot of time there and you're active. So, what type of things do you do with your church?
I mean, they're just they're very supportive, and, you know, they make me, I guess, feel good in certain ways about myself, and I know that I can talk to them if, you know, I have problems. Well, some problems, I can't talk to them about everything, but I don't think they'd understand. But for a lot of things, like if I'm feeling sad, at least they can try to cheer me up or something.
Okay, so we'll say most problems you can go and talk to the people at your church, but you're saying some issues that you don't feel comfortable talking to them about?
No, some things I just know I couldn't talk to them about it because they just wouldn't understand.
Okay. Now, what's this quote you gave?
You know, like birds of a feather flock together, or
Okay.
you know, that sort of
Bad
thing.
associations.
Spoil useful habits.
Okay, now, what do they mean by that? What?
Like people that, you know, if you associate with bad people, basically it'll rub off on you and they'll have you doing, you know, bad things.
Okay. And so we were talking about Philip. So are you saying that the church considered Philip a bad association?
I mean, I'm sure that they would, just because he's not involved in everything. But, you know, I guess I kind of feel that way about him because I guess I liked him too much, and I guess that's dangerous. And, you know, when I get around him, I guess I don't think straight, or some of the things that I think aren't right. So I would just like to get myself out of that situation, so I just stopped talking to him.
Okay.
And I know that, you know, hurt his feelings, but I just don't want to.
Mm-hmm. Well, Joseph, what I'm sensing from you is that there's some type of internal struggle, or there's some type of conflict going on where Philip is a close friend of yours. You all were weird in the same way. You felt like he understood you. He was a positive influence on your life. However, with the church also being a positive influence, and them maybe having some concerns, you felt like they might have concerns about your friendship with him, that kind of has you kind of stuck in the middle. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's very accurate.
Okay. Well, that's a difficult place to be in. Very difficult. What have you been doing to, I guess, make yourself feel less depressed? Or have you tried anything?
I mean, I don't think there's anything I really can do. I mean, I can't really talk to people at church about, you know, this particular problem, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So you almost sound a little bit like you feel kind of hopeless about the situation. Is that the case, or?
I mean, kind of. On one hand, I kind of felt like I dealt with it because I kind of pushed them away, but then I kind of don't because I still feel like bad about it.
Okay. Now, we talked about your depression and the fact that it's been going on for a long time. I feel like I need to figure out exactly where you are with your sadness. Now, on a scale from 1 to 10, with 1 being that you're happy and 10 being that you're extremely sad, where would you be on that scale?
I guess at 8. Sometimes I guess it can be a 9, and sometimes I guess it can be a 7.
Okay. So when it's an 8 or a 9, what do those days look like, or how do you feel on those days?
And just rather, I guess those are days where I can't hide it or pretend to be happy because I just don't have the energy, and I guess I'd just rather be left alone. And if I could, I would just sleep all day, but you know, you got to go to school and work and stuff, so.
Well, have you ever thought about hurting yourself, or?
I mean, I used to, but I don't like dwell on it or anything. Not lately.
Okay, okay. So today you haven't had any of those thoughts?
No, I don't think like that.
Okay. Now, when you had those thoughts in the past, were they just kind of a passing thought, or did you actually have a plan?
No, I didn't have a plan. It's just, you know, I guess I was just sad and I thought about it, but I didn't do anything or like plan it out or anything.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. I feel a little concerned, Joseph, because it sounds like you're in this middle zone where you have something in your life. You had a person in your life that was making you happy. You all connected, and then you also had the church, who was kind of opposed to your relationship with him. And I would think that you getting peer support or support from a friend would probably help your depression, you know, so that makes me concerned about you not being friends with Philip anymore. Now, let me ask you this question. If you had a magic wand and you could change something, add something to your life, or take something away from your life, what would you use your magic wand to do?
I would just like want to be normal, I guess.
Normal. Well, what do you consider to be normal?
I would, I guess, just make myself like everyone else. I'll be interested in the stuff that I guess people are supposed to be interested in, like going to prom and dating and doing all that sort of thing. And then maybe, I don't know, I could deal with my friends and it wouldn't be an issue and just be like everybody else.
Well, I understand, because I know during this time in your life it's important for you to be similar to your peers, but I also see strength in individuality and you being different from your peers, because we all are different in special ways. So I'm sure you have some things that are strengths of yours that maybe your friends don't have, and vice versa. So I kind of see individuality as a good thing.
I mean, I guess it can be. Never really thought about it like that.
Right, right. Well, I want you to think about it. What do you consider to be a strength of yours? Some of your strengths that you see in yourself?
I guess since I don't go with the crowd, I guess that can be a strength. I guess I'm a leader, although I'm not a leader of anybody. I guess I'm a leader of myself. I guess you could say that. I don't know, in a weird way, say that.
Okay.
I guess I'm creative.
All right.
So.
In what way? I mean, the fact that you do a lot of things with church makes me think that you're in some type of maybe leadership role there, or you're a person that takes on initiative to do things. So I can see that. What about the creativity?
I don't know, I just think I'm kind of creative.
Okay. Well, I'm interested in decreasing your depression, but I'm also interested in you maybe identifying some of your individual strengths and kind of embracing that as a positive and not a negative. I know that might be difficult for you to do right now, but that's that's a stage I'm hoping that we'll get to. This thing about Philip and your friendship with him, is there any possibility that you and Philip can reconnect or become friends again?
I don't know, because I don't know. When I guess I kind of pushed him away, he didn't really understand, and it kind of hurt his feelings because he didn't know why. And I guess I didn't really know why, and I couldn't really explain it. So I'm not really sure whether or not, you know, he would want to be my friend. I guess the way I pushed him away, just didn't talk to him anymore. And I don't know. I don't even know if I would want that. I mean, part of me does, but then part of me is still like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess I have to think about it.
Okay. And again, I'm concerned because I'm concerned about your emotional well-being. You know, if this was somebody who could possibly be a positive influence in your life, I feel like then why not stay connected to that person? And I understand you are still in your middle zone or in your struggle, you know. Now, is the church the main reason why you have disconnected from Philip?
Yeah, I think that's the main reason, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, they don't know about him or anything. I never brought him up, but I guess I think that's the biggest thing, though, I guess.
So Philip has never come to church with you?
Oh, no. He's never come. I just don't know. I don't know what people would, well, I know what they would say and what they would think. That's why I've never, like, brought them or asked them to come or anything. So.
And what might they think?
I mean, I guess they would just think he was a bad influence on me, I guess. I don't know.
And that would impact you in what way?
Because I just feel like one has to go either, I guess, church or him. I don't think they kind of fit.
I see.
So
you feel like are you forced to pick between the two?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, seeing that both of these things are important in your life, and you don't see any other alternatives right now.
Not right now, I don't.
Okay. Well, I want to know, how do you think our session went today?
I guess, I mean, I'm a little nervous because it's the first time meeting you, but I feel a little better just, I guess, talking about it.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to hear that, and I'm hoping that we could meet again to continue to talk about your situation, and also to kind of continue to assess your feeling of sadness and depression. We're going to try to work on that together. But I'm interested in you maybe working your way out of this struggle that you're in, or this conflict that you're in, and maybe getting into a place where you feel okay with who you are and your own individuality. So maybe that's something we can work towards together.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that. I hope I can, get to that point one day.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in, Joseph.
Thank you.
I'll catch up with you next time.
Okay.
A few weeks later, the client returns for an additional session. He has in the meanwhile been thinking about these issues and working on them. Notice the themes in this next session. Notice the counselor affirming Joseph's strengths. Also notice Joseph having taken initiatives and the general positive movement for him. The counselor is patient still in waiting for the client to be ready for further identity reclaiming.
Joseph, good to see you. How's it going now?
It's going pretty good.
All right, so things are a little bit different, huh?
Yeah, things are, I guess, better. Yeah, a lot different. Yeah, a lot different, I guess.
Okay, well, what's changed since the last time I've seen you?
Well, I decided to, call Philip because not, being his friend anymore wasn't feeling good. And when we were friends, I guess it did feel, it felt good. So I decided to, bite the bullet, I guess, and call him up and apologize. And I was actually surprised that he was, I guess, open to being friends again, especially after the way I kind of pushed him away. So
That's great.
We're friends again, and he's really hasn't like held it over my head or anything. He's really just been really cool about it. So
Great,
I feel
great.
good about that.
I'm glad to hear that. Now, how has that impacted the way you feel, the way you've been feeling?
I guess I feel a lot better, so I guess pushing him away wasn't really the right decision.
Okay, especially since he was such a positive influence in your life. Now, since you have been reconnected with Philip, have you been able to talk to him about, your feelings or, your sadness? Have you been able to confide in him?
A little bit, because I had to, I guess, kind of explain, like why I pushed him away. So we had a couple conversations about that, and he understood, because, like, I guess we're the same in certain aspects, and he understood, my actions and what I was thinking and stuff.
Well, great, great.
So he was, I guess, very forgiving.
Wonderful. So tell me, on that scale we did last time, the sadness scale, with 1 being that you were very happy and 10 being that you're extremely sad, where are you on that scale now?
Today I'm a 4. I mean, some days it's 6, maybe 7, and I guess most days it's a 5, but some days it's a 4. So
great. Yeah. Well, we're moving down a little bit. That's great. Now you've reconnected with Philip. How is that impacting your relationship with your church?
Well, I kind of don't. I still go, but I guess I don't go as often as I used to, and I kind of feel, I guess, guilty about that, a little bad about that, but I don't know. I guess I'm still uneasy about. I don't know how to balance that, I guess. I'm not sure.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And that's interesting. You talk about balance, because we were talking about you being in the middle, so it's still somewhat of a struggle. But it sounds like you're making some of your own decisions, and you're kind of embracing the individuality we talked about.
Yeah, I've been trying to, I guess, I don't know, just figure out what makes me happy, and because I was tired of feeling depressed all the time, so I just want to focus on, I guess, me, I guess.
Good.
What I think and what I want.
Right. Good. Okay. Well, I'm hoping that at some point you're going to find the balance that you are looking for. And so I know your mother was concerned about you. She was the one that actually started you with therapy. Has she noticed any changes?
She has. The only thing she says is counseling must be working, so you better keep going. That's, that's the only thing. Okay,
so she thinks it's the counselor that's working, but does she realize it's you that's working as well?
I don't know. The only thing she knows is that I guess I'm happier. I'm not as depressed, and as I used to be, and I'm not like faking it either, I guess. I don't know. So
okay, so she's happy with seeing some change in your life. What about your other friends?
I guess I'm at a point where I can kind of like, I don't push them away anymore. I just kind of deal with it as it comes along.
Okay.
And so we still talk and hang out.
Well,
more,
good. Yeah. So you're more socially connected with them. Yeah. You're not as isolated as you were before.
No, I mean, I don't have a lot of friends, but the ones that I have, I still, I talk to. I'm not pushing away anymore, I guess I should say.
Okay. And are they more receptive to your differences or individuality, or does that even come up?
No, it comes up all the time, but I kind of just try to ignore it or push them off or, whatever, however the situation rolls. I just kind of go with it.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you've become more interpersonally, you've gotten reconnected with your peers, and it sounds like this whole difference that you're feeling, or the fact that you're maybe not the same as them, is not as much of a burden as it was before. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I don't think it's it's bigger problem just because I guess I got Philip that I can talk to and he understands, and
Right.
you know, we're just different in the same ways and stuff, so he gets me.
Right.
I get him.
And I think you used to say y'all are weird in the same way.
Yeah.
Okay, and he gets you. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. So I want us to keep working together on this. And of course, I'm always trying to decrease your number on that sadness scale. But it really makes me happy to see that you have made some progress and that other people have noticed that you made some progress. I can really see the difference.
I'm just glad that I've noticed that made some
Exactly.
progress.
Exactly, because you're the most important person here, right?
I hope so.
Okay. Well, let's schedule for next time, and I'll see you next week.
Okay.
From watching these sessions, think about these questions. What possibly influenced some of the changes in Joseph from session 1 to session 2? Some answers to that question include Joseph's trust in the counselor from the first session due to her warmth, her respect, her accurate empathy, having the counselor as a bridge person while feeling somewhat isolated, the counselor affirming the client to be himself. Also, the client's discovery that it's okay to be himself and being confirmed in that regard. Those are some of the influences of the changes that have gone on. And secondly, what's still in process? What's unfinished for Joseph? Some possible responses to that question include his relationship with his religion, his relationship with his other friends, his place in the high school social scene, his relationship with his family, which is not explored here, his sexual identity, that is, toward naming his being gay, finding gay role models, having a gay support system, and grieving changes in the future due to his discovered identity. These are all tasks for the next phase, which will be called Identity Acceptance and Coming Out. Here is an illustration of 3 classic themes in a client's early identity acceptance coming out phase. Watch the counselor, in this case, Cindy, help Laura present all 3 themes. Notice these 3. Awareness of her attraction to the same sex, her internal confusion over this attraction, and her desire to disclose to the world.
Hi, Laura. I'm Miss Jenkins. How are you doing today?
Hi, Miss Jenkins. How are you?
Good. Good.
Okay.
What brings you into the counseling office today?
Well, I feel like I've been really confused lately. I'm sort of nearing the end of my college career, and I don't know, I feel a lot of pressure around. I feel like I haven't really been myself lately, and I don't know, I've been anxious a lot, and kind of not really connected with my friends, I guess, and I'm not paying too much attention to my schoolwork, but I feel like I should, and I'm kind of like all over the place right now.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you think some of this anxiety may be due to?
Well, I know over the past year or so, I've been really thinking about. I've always dated guys, but I have a friend who I really like her, and her name's Julie, and I don't know. I feel like I've been trying to make sense out of it myself for a while, and I just don't know where I am. And I found your name in a directory for gay-friendly places, and I figured this would be a good place to come because I don't really know that many people in the area to be able to talk to.
Okay. So is your anxiety around your feelings about Julie, or is your anxiety around the support system, not having other people to talk to about? Tell me more about why you are feeling so anxious at this time.
Well, really, just because I don't feel like I have anybody to talk to, and I know that it's been. I mean, I feel like I've been thinking about it for pretty much a good solid year now, constantly, and I mean, I can't go a day without thinking about it, and just trying to figure out, well, what is it going to mean for me to, come out, however I'm going to come out as. I don't even know, like, how to put a label on it, and I don't even know if I want to, but just where I am, and being comfortable with myself enough to be comfortable with telling other people, like my family and my friends. I mean, I feel like this is such a big thing that I've been going through. I don't want to keep that from them, but I don't know how to say anything, really.
Mm-hmm. So you haven't told your family?
No, and my sister's getting married soon, and I just feel like it's going to be complicated. I don't want them to, feel like, oh, you're just doing this to get attention, because I'm really not. I've been going through this, just this being confused for a while now, and worried, and I just don't want to. I don't want to be like that anymore. I just want to be honest, and just come out, and I just don't know how to do it.
Okay. Here around the school here on campus, have you noticed anything around the campus that might, offer some type of support? Have you noticed any activities like the groups that are going on right here on campus?
I did see there was a table out at the activities fair, and they had a gay student group. But it really, I don't know, it really didn't look like there was a lot of people involved, and I wouldn't want to be, I don't know, I guess I could talk to them, but I don't really feel like that was the kind of people that I'd really want to be confused with.
Okay.
Because, they might all be confused, and it just might confuse me even more, and I don't know if I'm ready to walk around campus and, show it just yet. I feel like that would be a little too far for me right now.
Laura, in this short segment, was further along in her awareness of her same-sex attraction than was Joseph. She's ready to declare her attraction to women, or to come out, to both herself and now to the counselor. However, she is not fully comfortable with claiming a lesbian identity as her own. Next, you will see a fuller counseling session, one in which a client, in this case Vanessa, who is also in the early identity acceptance coming out phase, explores the implications of her new identity. One of the counselor's tasks is to help the client acknowledge and express the grief of that expected blueprint for life, and thus to move beyond the sense of loss so that it doesn't become chronic. This task can be helped by the counselor's probing client feelings about her homosexuality, specifically around family, friendships, work, and religion. A second related counselor task at this phase is to help the client forge a positive gay identity by seeing positive role models, helping the client connect with the gay community, and help the client come to an appreciation of who this part of her is. Here's what to notice in this session. The counselor assesses the client's clarity about being gay, and the counselor affirms the client's sexual orientation. The second theme is the counselor proactively points the client to gay-related resources so that the client can firm up a positive gay identity. And third, the counselor helps the client to meet the world with her new identity, especially through telling her family about her sexual identity.
Hi, I understand your name is Vanessa.
That's right.
I'm Garrett. Nice to meet you and welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Can you tell me what's on your mind? What brought you here?
I'm feeling a little confused right now. I feel very different. I've started over at a new school this year. It's my first year. I actually came here because you came in to speak at one of the GLBT socials.
Yeah.
So I felt a little comfortable there.
Okay.
And I felt like this would be a safe place to come and talk about the confusion I'm feeling and just really confused.
Well, I'm glad you came in, and that was a nice hook there. Tell me what's, you're saying you're confused. Tell me a little more about that.
Well, I've recently discovered within myself that I'm attracted to women.
Okay.
And just like everything within my past tells me that that's not something that's good. And so I've been fighting within myself to actually like come to grips with that and figure out what that really is and if that's really a part of me or some kind of phase that I have to work through or what's going on with that. I'm just...
So I'm hearing something in you is calling, in a sense, and sounds maybe pretty automatic or maybe even natural, but then there's some part of you says something taught you somewhere in the past that that wasn't okay. And there's a kind of a conflict going on within you about that.
Well, first off, I was raised Roman Catholic, so that really tells me that it's not a good thing to be attracted to someone of the same sex. And so right away, that like put up a red flag for me saying, this is wrong, and try not to identify this way. And so it's really hard for me to feel that and then know how I really feel inside. So.
You said really feel inside.
Right, because I know that's how I feel. It's not something that's made up, but I'm just trying to make sure that it is the real thing before I go to like a next step of like telling anybody about it or just, I don't know, just seeking it out in some way.
You want to have clarity for yourself before you take some steps. Sounds like, you know, you would take some steps after today or after soon to perhaps without whatever implications it has for your life. But you really need to get some comfort with who you are.
I don't feel comfortable right now with who I am. When I was in New York, before I came to school, I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel like I was truly myself around people I care about, and that started to make me feel depressed. And so I was trying to figure out why I was so depressed and how I could change that and make it better. And that was a big reason why I came down here to try and start anew and see who I really am and try to figure myself out, because I just didn't know.
So kind of trying to leave the confusion of the past behind to start somehow new, and what I'm hearing is to be who you are, not who you had to pretend to be. But that's not really clear yet, but you've made some steps to get kind of clearer. It sounds like you are getting clearer. Is that correct?
Well, when I went to the social that one day when you came in, just being there, I didn't really talk to anybody. I kind of sat back and took it all in, but just being there and around these people that I felt I could relate to, it just felt right in a way. It was different than before. It was different than hanging out with all my friends at home or talking to my parents. I felt like I was hiding something with them, but when I went to the social, it felt like I was accepted no matter what. They didn't ask anything of me, and I didn't disclose anything with them, but it just felt like I was accepted no matter what I had to say or how I felt.
You know, when you say that, I see some kind of sort of positive energy. It sounds like you felt like, without words almost, like, gee, I feel like I fit here. Something is right. So another kind of piece of that puzzle seems to have been confirmed by that, going to the GLBT social.
Right.
And that seems like an important feeling to stay with for you, that this is somewhere that you know who you are. Something pulls you back a little bit to that time, I guess, back in New York, where you were playing with, is this okay, or who am I?
I felt like I was putting on an act. I felt like I was doing what I was expected to be doing. And my biggest issue with all of this is, like, my parents are very close to me. Like, I definitely count them as, like, the most important things in my life. So my biggest fear and worry was to disappoint them and to not do what was expected. Because all my life, I feel like everything that I've done, they've been so proud of me. And I just would never want to let them down. So that really hurts me. Like, I don't want to disappoint them at all. And I feel like that's what I'd be doing.
So inside, you're in a place that is saying, again, I probably have said this is who I am, but what does it mean for the other parts of my life? And a big part of your life is your parents, to whom you're quite close. They mean a lot to you, is what I'm hearing. Tell me a little bit about your parents and, you know, what response you imagine they would have to hearing you're attracted to women.
Well, recently, my mother has 3 lesbian friends and 1 friend that's transgendered, and she hangs out with them and talks to them. And I can't imagine her, for example, like condemning them to hell or anything.
Okay.
Which, back when I was a child, I remember her saying something to that effect.
Yeah.
So that always stood out for me. So, but now that she has these friends, I think that she would be more accepting. But then again, it's hard to say that because they're not her child. They're not her only child. They're not her daughter that she expects to walk down the aisle with a man and all those different expectations.
Right.
That's not them. That's just her friends. So it's possible for me to imagine her being accepting of them, but not so much her only child, her little girl.
Yeah, her little girl who she has probably, as you say, at least you think she has an image of following the traditional path, you know, as you say, down the aisle kind of picture. And yet I'm hearing also that your mom seems pretty open to diversity, we'll say, sexual orientation diversity in her own life, has become connected to people who are lesbian. So there's kind of some room here for possibly some work to be done. So that's a real important piece, is what's going on. Can you tell me other parts for you that are important now as you, I guess I'm hearing that you're saying, I think I'm lesbian, I'm attracted to women, I feel real connected to this social group, and it's very new to me. I mean, it's not like it's really solid in terms of what it means, but can you tell me parts of your life that you think about when you say, okay, I'm lesbian, and so that means...
Well, that's another thing. Within myself, I don't even feel comfortable referring to myself as that. Like, I don't feel comfortable saying I'm a lesbian or anything.
Okay.
So for you, like, when you say that, it's kind of weird for me.
It's just not you. That word is somebody else.
Right.
Okay.
I never thought of myself as a lesbian.
Yeah.
So I guess that's another thing.
That's sort of
it's strange
jars
to me.
you and feels strange.
Yeah.
And that really tells you that, gee, this is awfully new. How long ago did you have the the LGBT social gathering? How long ago was that?
That was about 2 weeks ago.
So it's all very, very new.
And even things leading up to that, it was hard for me to walk in there. Walking in there for me, it was very hard. I was kind of worried about who would see me walk in there, who I'd be associated with. It was like internalized, like I felt ashamed, and I was like, that's not really right either.
Yeah.
So that confused me even more.
And you said it's not really right
to feel ashamed.
Yeah,
like I shouldn't feel ashamed if something's a part of me, I shouldn't feel ashamed of it, because feeling ashamed would give the implication that it's wrong, and I'm not sure if it's wrong.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. You were sure it was wrong some years ago, based on your upbringing.
Right.
And now you're saying, how can something that's me be wrong when it seems so automatic? I guess I'm not hearing like you're making a lot of choice about this.
I don't feel like I would choose this.
Right.
Because in some instances I know it would, like if I did come to terms with this, if it truly is a part of me, then I think it would make my life harder. So why would I make a choice like that? Why would I try to make my life harder in any way? But I think it feels right.
Yeah.
So.
And again, the words right, and on the other hand, you have ashamed, kind of battling with each other right now for you. And any word to label yourself doesn't feel comfortable right now. It's not like you put on a suit of clothes and you say, these are just right for me yet. It's very early in your time. How does it feel right now talking to me, in this room about some of this or about this?
It feels good because I haven't spoken about it to anyone really, except for my friend Jen.
Yes.
And it just feels good because I feel like, maybe not that you can understand or relate, because I don't know if those are the correct words to say, but just that it's accepted, like it's not, you're not looking down on me when I talk to you about my feelings. So I feel very comfortable.
Okay. And you got that sense maybe because of my going to the GLBT social event and mentioning the support that the counseling center offers. And I guess I'd ask, is it okay to be talking to me as a man versus talking to a woman? How is that for you?
That's fine for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I guess what I was thinking of is the feeling isolation. Having friends but not being able to talk to them about something important. And now one of the steps that's going on is connecting to people, like-minded souls or like-minded people, which the social group sort of started for you. Can you tell me any other ways that you might have begun to connect to people who share your sexual orientation, or done any reading or other kinds of things that are starting to connect for you in yourself?
When I was at the social, a girl approached me and sat down. Her name was Jess, and she invited me to a concert, and she also invited me to go out to a bar with a couple of her friends. And that kind of took me back because I was like, wow, she just met me, and I'm already accepted. It's not like I had to do anything. I didn't have to tell her anything about me. She didn't assume anything. She just was like, do you want to hang out on Saturday night? And I was like, okay, that sounds fine. And we actually went to the bar, and it was a gay bar. It was a lesbian bar. And again, like the same feeling that I got in the social. It just felt right. It felt like I was around like my kind of people, people who I could relate to, that would understand like whatever I had to say. And then also, I went to the GLBT Resource Center on campus, and they have a bunch of brochures and pamphlets. And I picked up, I think it was a Human Rights Campaign Coming Out booklet. And I've been reading that, and in it has some celebrities' testimony about their coming out stories, and various different people about what happened and how it just, I definitely could relate to it because everything that it said was something that I was feeling, like there's risk involved. If you truly do feel like you're going to lose everything, just think about if it's worth it or not at the moment. But think about how great it'll feel, because it's like a burden, and I totally related to that. It is like a burden. It's like I have this hovering over me. I can't truly be myself around my parents, and that hurts me a lot because I want to be myself with them, and I want to be open and honest and share great things with them. And I think if I had someone important in my life, that would be a great thing to share with my parents.
An intimate relationship, a good, close woman-to-woman relationship. You'd like to be able to have them be part of that. And so, again, I hear this, how natural it felt to go out with Jess and other people and meet other people, and that, to me, was automatic and natural. And then the struggle that people have had to be different, we'll say, from this majority, I guess. And you read some materials and said, oh, gee, a number of other people had to deal with how natural it felt, but how there were obstacles toward putting that into my life in some way. And so you have begun some part of a journey in meeting some people, following up a bit, and then doing some thinking and reading about some people who themselves have shared that. So it seems like it's less isolating than it would have been, certainly, maybe even a month ago, or certainly back in high school.
Definitely.
Yeah. But you still live with this sense of, two things I'm hearing. One is, what about my parents? What do I do with that? And other parts of my future. What are the implications for that? As you think about being attracted to women and whatever that might mean for your future, what comes to mind for you, if you've even thought about it, or if you could think about it now?
Well, like I said, all my life, I've known that there was that expectation of meeting a nice man and falling in love and getting married with a big white flowing dress. And I don't see that anymore.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I guess it could happen with a woman, but it's a different idea. It would never fulfill my parents' expectations of my future.
Okay.
And I guess I have to sit back and say, what do I want my future to hold? And it's my future. It's not their future. And as much as I love them and respect how they feel, I have to do what makes me happy. And it's a hard sacrifice to make, I feel, for myself. But I don't know, like, I've never really seen like what my future could be like with a woman. I don't know exactly what would happen. And right now, I think my most important objective are to be like successful, have like a secure, like job security, and just to be happy. And I don't, and that's the thing, my main objective is to be happy, and I don't see myself being happy with a man.
Right.
I think that's what it comes down to.
Again, being true to yourself, following your natural impulse or whatever we call it, and the way that plays out is cloudy still. It's in a mist, and you can't quite say this is what it means to settle down with someone or to have relationships with someone, and there are other issues that we may not talk today about, but what about any career implications? If it has any, it may not. And all kinds of things, where I live. And so it's very new, and some of that is just not there yet for you. But it does seem like that's part of a, maybe an agenda to sort of to look at, for us to look at if you'd like to.
Right.
And I would invite you, for us, if you'd like to continue to work, to think about, okay, what are the next implications for my family, for my own personal social life and path, religion, and I guess any of those three. I mean, what I'm hearing today is you're coming out to yourself more and more every day, and you're starting to build a social life around gay and lesbian people, and finding that quite comfortable. You have other friendships also, and there's something about it that's fitting. Step one seems to be that, and reading the materials and maybe checking out other kind of ways of knowing people who are good models, looking at what people's paths are, whatever that path is, career-wise or settling down or traveling around or whatever in terms of that might be important also. So I guess I think we've sort of hit on your dilemma, but it sure feels like you've made some significant progress around who you are. I also hear that you have a supportive family in general, and that they love you and you love them, and that's what I'm hearing from you. This is going to be something that will be a step in the process of becoming who you are. And it seems to me that if you continue doing the things you're doing, which is actively connecting with people in the GLBT community, that coming out to yourself part will continue to be in process. And I'm wondering if you can think of ways to continue to kind of connect with that community during this semester, let's say. Do you have some ideas of further supports and models and people that you might connect with?
Well, there's this lady, Laura, that works on campus, and I know she's in a committed relationship.
Okay.
So that's one road. And my friend Joey has a steady boyfriend that he lives with.
Okay.
So I can see relationships forming, but because I guess it's a younger age bracket, it's hard for me to see. I haven't really met older people that are more established and more settled.
I'm wondering if it might be worth, is it Laura you mentioned? Just chatting with her about her path. You may have already talked a bit, but to sort of say, what's it been like to have a committed relationship with a woman, and to talk to your parents, and she might be a little bit like a pacer, like a little bit ahead of where you are, and therefore kind of able to show you how that works. Or Joey, talk about his process, who again, maybe they're continuing to be more comfortable in themselves as something you might do,
Right.
kind of one way of bringing the outside inside. Well, our time is up. I want to make sure you're all set for us to follow up. That's certainly your choice, but I would be really happy to see you and we could get together and spend some time. How do you feel can you tell about what went on for you today in today's meeting?
I actually feel like a little bit's been lifted off of me.
Okay.
Like I feel a lot more accepting of myself, because like when I was reading that book, they used the term internalized homophobia,
Okay.
and I felt like that definitely pegged me.
Okay.
Like I was having a definite internal struggle, and I'm still in it, but I feel like this is helping definitely.
Yeah.
To be able to
Something-
talk about it.
A weight lifted a little bit, and that's probably a good feeling.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope the weight keeps on getting lifted and you
I
can
hope so.
drop the weight completely. Well, good to meet you.
Thank you
We'll
very much.
schedule something for next week.
Okay.
Great, thanks. Vanessa now addresses the developmental task of disclosing her sexual identity to significant persons in her life. This is an important risk to take. The prior step to coming out is also to develop a support network of lesbian, gay, and bisexual persons, as Vanessa has done. If this disclosure goes well, the individual is likely to feel more positively about being gay. However, if he or she receives a negative response, he or she will be further confirmed in a negative view of being gay. The counselor can help a client in who to tell and when and how to tell them. This is what occurs in this session. Vanessa, welcome back.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again. Tell me how things have been going.
Well, for the past couple of weeks, I've been looking at more reading material.
Okay.
I've been hanging out with a couple of my friends that I relate to, my gay and lesbian friends. We've been going out, and it's been really nice. And I've been talking to my parents, and I kind of mentioned something to my mom along the lines of, I think I was talking about Matthew Shepard or something, and she really touched me in a way because she said something like, I can't believe those people did that to him because God loves everybody. And that really spoke to me, and I was like, wow, if she thinks God accepts gay people, then obviously she would accept me because I'm a child. So that made me feel really confident, and I got a little emotional about it. And I'm going home next weekend, and I really would like to tell them. And I'm really scared, and I don't know exactly how they're going to react, but I really do want to tell them and have them know the real me, like this part of me.
I sense how important it is and how it's feeling a little safer, a little maybe too weak a word, but it's feeling safer, but not a sure bet yet to go home with your mom's comment about God loves everyone. And you're really readying yourself to talk to them and to be who you are with them.
Right.
So that's something that you've decided, I guess, in the process of, as you're saying, becoming more in contact with who you are and how you are and with yourself. So that coming out to yourself is continuing now. It's coming. Tell me about your coming out to others. You said you were going to consider talking to your roommates or a roommate and someone else.
Well, I did come out to my roommate and our mutual friend, and it went really well.
Yeah.
Basically, she said, so what? Like, she didn't care at all. I thought it might be weird for her because we lived together, we're roommates in a closed space. I thought maybe she would feel weird or something, but she was just like, so what? She's like, you're a great person, I love hanging out with you, and you're one of my good friends.
Okay.
And so that definitely gave me a lot of confidence.
How did you do it? Just tell me the words you said and how you set it up. What situation?
I didn't
was it?
really know how to go about it because I never did it before, but I was just like, I have something to tell you. And she was like, okay. And she was laying on her bed, and I was like, I'm gay. And she was like, and? And I was like, and nothing, that's it. And she was just like, so what? I don't care. She's like, that doesn't change my opinion of you in any way. And she's like, we're still good friends and we're roommates. And then our friend Brian came up, our mutual friend. And I was like, you might want to sit down. And then I told him, and he basically had the same reaction. He was kind of like, cool. And he's like, I don't care. He's like, you're great and you're a good friend, and that's all that matters.
They affirmed who you are, 100%, both as a friend and who you are in terms of who you're attracted to. It seemed like both of those were just fine.
Right.
Now, and I assume you're continuing to see them and be their friend, and that
Yeah.
path continues. So there's a little bit of a practice, we'll say, or a cushion, you called it. Let's then talk about how you might go about talking to your parents. And I assume you have two parents, right? Mother and father. You've mentioned your mother. I haven't heard much about your father. Could you tell me a little bit about your father and your relationship with him? Or?
Well, I've always been really close to my father, and I guess it's like a stereotype thing, but I was like a tomboy, and I would hang out with my dad and play catch, and I was like his little buddy. And when I came to school, he was very upset. He was very upset. He felt like he was losing his best friend, and he's a very sensitive man, so like different things will set him off, and so he really misses me a lot, and he definitely enjoys my company. And I'm not just his daughter; I am his like his buddy. So
yeah, that's really neat. I mean, not everybody has that, and to feel that is very strong, is very neat. So, so you got the foundation. Now the question for you is, how do I go about this, and when?
Right.
Tell me a little bit about how you can imagine approaching them, and when you might do it. As you say, you're going home, and
I feel like I might come out to my friends first before I come in, just like a close-knit group of my friends, and see how that goes. And I'm fairly confident they'll be accepting. I don't know exactly how I'll go about doing that, but I'm fairly confident they will be, just from what conversations we've had and how they talk about things like that. My parents, I don't even know the right words. I don't know how if they're gonna come to me out of nowhere. I don't know how to. I feel like I'm breaking it to them. So it's, and I'm still, even though I want to tell them so bad, and I feel like I want to push myself to just go in there and do it, I still have that fear of letting them down and disappointing them, because I know that no matter what, they are going to be disappointed. As much as they will be supportive probably, and they're still going to love me, they're going to be disappointed, and that still hurts me, because I don't want to do that to them.
They're going to be disappointed, as you imagine, in what?
They're going to be disappointed in the visions they've had of my future, things they've expected for me. I'm sure they'll be concerned about people being negative, having negative things to say or do to me because of the way I feel.
Out of concern for you and caring for you.
Out of concern for my safety, I
Sure.
think. There'll be some concern for that.
Sounds like some of their disappointments, or maybe that's the wrong word, are the same as the ones you've worked through a bit, which is, what is the future? I had this kind of vision of the aisle and the walking down and the other paths, and it's going to be shifting.
It has a lot to do with the future.
Yeah.
And I think also there might be a little piece of, because my extended family is so close too, I think I don't want them to feel ashamed of me to the rest of our family. And I think there might be a little of that. And I think that might be something they might have to work through.
Okay. Sounds like something you
I
may
want them
want
to, they've been proud of me all my life, and I don't want that to stop. I don't want them to be, I want them to be proud of me.
Yes. And maybe that's something you would want to talk to them about too, saying, hey, you know, now that we've done this, I'm interested in sharing this with the rest of the family, and let's carry on from here.
Right.
So that's step kind of 2 as part of that conversation. You're saying, I don't know quite how I'll approach my parents about it, but I heard you did it twice in the last couple of weeks with your friend Brian and your roommate. And so in a sense, I suspect the words will come very naturally to you. You have a very natural manner and a very, seems like very direct and honest approach. So I suspect you will find the words. Let's try out maybe you're saying to me, as if I'm your father and your mom is here, telling us that you're gay, and you're going to do that whenever it seems right when you next visit. So let's imagine, can you imagine a time and a place that it might make sense?
Yeah.
In your head?
I think so.
What do you see? What room?
I think we're in the dining room.
Okay.
Maybe just finished dinner or something.
Okay.
Because that's the time when we're just finished eating and
Yeah.
everything's quiet.
Okay. So we're sitting at the dining room table, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, I'm going to tell my parents I'm gay. So think about how you might say that, and I'm Dad and Mom's here.
Okay. So, I'm gay.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm gay.
Okay. You're gay. Wow. That's really that's news. That's important. And sounds real important to you, I bet. And I guess you might be wondering what it means. You know, I mean, new news is always new news, but in case you're wondering, you're mostly Vanessa to us, right? And I just have to get used to the idea, I think. Mm. I bet you have too. Well, I really appreciate you telling us, you know, I mean, I hope that we can always be here for you, and this is one of those times when I guess it's really good for us to be here for you. Okay, let's pause there. How did that feel in doing that revelation and getting that reaction?
It felt good because I could tell, like, I know there's going to be some of that confusion and shock, but I'm pretty sure it'll be the same way how he'll be accepting. And ultimately, they still love me, so.
So it felt like it might be a little bit like what it would be like to tell them. I didn't play it like they were more difficult.
Right.
And many people do have very difficult situations with their parents, and parents who are not likely to be as accepting as yours.
Right.
And so I didn't want to make it too easy for you, but I was trying to imagine what you've told me about your parents. Do you think you can do that?
I think I can. I think I want to so bad that I'll just make myself, because it feels so important. It feels, I just really want to do it.
Okay.
So I think it's just going to be something that I'll just have to grit and bear it and see what happens.
Yeah. It sounds like there's no right way to do this. There's no script. And so I suppose if you just do what you just did, and whatever words come out, that's all that is needed in the situation. And I guess one thing to tell yourself, I'm going to suggest something, is to remind yourself, you know, this is who I am. I'm still their daughter. They're still my parents. That doesn't change. This part of me I'm going to tell them about, and this is a good thing to be doing. And if you can just kind of get yourself ready, say, this is the right thing I'm doing now, you'll probably, you know, carry it off, however it gets carried off. So you have a plan to do this within the next few weeks?
I think when I go home this weekend, I might tell my friends first, and then when it's the right time.
Well, tell me how it goes. You know, our time is up, so we will certainly have a session, you know, after you get back, and I'd certainly hope you can feel my support with you as you go up there. And let's, you know, if you want to send me an email even along the way, telling me how it went, I'd really like that. Okay.
All right.
Well,
Thank you
good
very
luck to
much.
that. I think you'll do great.
Thanks.
What you have seen in the first session is a counselor who is supporting or holding a client in her very new approach to a lesbian identity. The counselor does not avoid the issue, but also does not push the client. The client here named her attraction and explored the implications of that same-sex orientation. The counselor also intentionally pointed to gay resources, including positive gay and lesbian models. In the second session, the counselor helped the client come out to important people in her life. Later tasks for the client will be to take pride in her lesbian identity through further socialization with persons who are gay and lesbian. She might then eventually, if all goes well, integrate her sexual orientation with her total identity. That will require positive contact with supportive heterosexuals also. However, the societal oppression of people who are in a sexual minority will present her with a lifelong challenge. Gay affirmative counseling is rooted in a fundamental belief that homosexuality is natural. It stands alongside heterosexuality as an equal partner. It's a variation on a theme, not an aberration from a standard of heterosexuality. We ask you to claim that attitude as your own. Perhaps this video will help in that regard.